Okay guys, I'm going to show you how to change colour by cutting and tying for those of you that want to make portraits, pictures, when you're using too many colours to be able to carry the yarn as you go along. So hopefully this video will help you and help you to understand more what I'm talking about. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've already done a couple of rows in just the white. You would do this if you're doing a border around your work. I've done my chain one up. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to go into the very first DC, or if you're in the States it will be your single crochet, and I'm going to crochet 15. When I'm changing colours, I actually find it easier to crochet as though I'm knitting. You do it however you're most comfortable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, right, 15. Your last stitch, pull the yarn through so you're left with your 2 loops from 1 stitch. I'm going to cut the yarn, get your next yarn, you might have to zoom in, and do a square knot. You can cut your ends as long as you want and finish the 15th stitch off. So you have still got the 5 stitches in white, and then you're going to do again, just bring the yarn through the loop the once, so you're left with 2 loops on your hook. We only need 1 in this colour. Cut the yarn and carry on. I dropped my scissors. Carry on the row in the white. Right, we're coming up to the end of the row, and I go into the last DC, do my stitch, and then chain 1. That is my turning chain. Turn the work around and go in, there's your turning chain, and you go into the very first stitch. Again, carry on. We need 14 this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right, the last stitch before you change colour, through your stitch, pull your yarn, cut the yarn, get the colour that you need, do your square stitch. Now this row is a wrong side row, so when you've tied your knot will be actually on the right side. You can either finish your row and then pull the knots through, but I actually bring my knot round in front of the last stitch, finish the last stitch off, and then do my next stitch. and again you've pulled the yarn through once, so you've got 2 loops on your hook, and I need to change colour again. So I'm going to cut the yarn my knot. Don't pull your knot too tight because it will pull through your work. And again, that's the right side and the knot's on the right side. I need the knot this side. So I'm going to pull the knot to the front under that stitch and finish that stitch off and carry on. So if I turn that round, you can see this is the right side, the knots are all on the wrong side. That's the way I find it easiest, but you can do your row and then with your hook pull the knots through to the wrong side. So I'm just going to finish this row off. You will notice that I crochet the normal way as everybody says it, or I will hold the yarn in my right hand. It's just however I feel comfortable at the time. Right. That's my last stitch. Finish that off, do my turning chain and chain the yarn, turn the work. So carry on. So now the right side of the work is facing me, so the knots can stay on the wrong side. So the last stitch in white, again just put your hook through the stitch, yarn round, pull it through so you've got the 2 loops on the hook. Cut the yarn, this time I want black. So I'm going to do my square stitch. Again, don't pull your knots too tight because otherwise it will pull through to the other side of the work. I'm going to do 1 stitch in black, leaving the 2 loops on the hook. Cut the yarn. Change to red. So then I'm going to do 1, 2, that's my 3rd one in the red, cut the yarn, get my black, a lot of people don't like this method because of all the ends, but if you're doing a portrait there's not really another way of doing it because there's too many colour changes to carry your yarn. That's my 1 stitch in black, cut the yarn, tie the white, to the end of the row. I'm going to show you in some patterns you will have a colour change. Your last stitch on the row and the first stitch on your next row won't be the same colour. So if I get to the end of this row, so on this row the last stitch needs to be white, so we'll go into the last stitch again, pull your yarn through once, you've got the 2 loops on the hook. Now I'm getting tangled up in the yarn. Cut the yarn, tie it with the colour you need for your first stitch on your next row. So there's your last stitch on this row, it is white, but you've changed it to the first stitch on the next row. Chain 1, turn your work, go into your first stitch, and you want, say, 2 stitches in that colour. Cut your yarn. So I've cut the black and I've changed it back to the white. This is not a particular picture, it's just to show you what I do. So the knot is now on the right side of the work. I need to bring it in front of my hook, do this next stitch, and I just hold the knot out of the way as I do the stitch, just so it doesn't pop through again, and carry on. Just finish this bit off. So there you have it. Hopefully you understand what I'm talking about. It's my first video, so I might have confused you. So there's the colour changes that we did, the white to the black to the red to the black back to the white. All the knots are on the wrong side of the row. And that's the colour change that we did, ending in the white and then starting in the black.